Let's be frank. This year, the local con is celebrating Frankenstein. I bought a latex mask of Jack Pierce's Boris Karloff Frankenstein and thought a costume was in order. After reading Mary Shelley's novel, I found that the 1931 film wasn't very close to the description of the monster in her book. Apparently, Frankenstein's creation was built up vein by vein and bone by bone, not just having arms and legs gathered from the graveyard and sewn together. Also, the monster was 8 feet tall and had yellow eyes. I wanted to incorporate something from her novel, but still use the mask. I knew what I needed to do. Get a kid's bike helmet. The helmet was larger than expected. I was hoping for more of a foam beanie. I peeled off the tape holding the thin plastic shell and removed it. The plan is to glue the top of the helmet to the bottom of a styrofoam wig head. I would then put the mask onto the wig head. That way, when I turn my head, Frank's head will also turn. Plus, it brings Frank's height to about 7 feet. I used silicone caulk to glue the wig head onto the bike helmet. It didn't seem very sturdy, so I laid burlap over the head helmet joint and coated it with white glue. Frank's shoulders needed to be about a foot taller. I crafted 2 foam coreboard boxes using a coat hanger as a guide for the shoulder slope. The top is rounded and the bottom concave to fit my shoulders. I attached the back of the boxes together with more coreboard, just wide enough to get my head in between. Testing the helmet head with the shoulders revealed that the back of the bike helmet gave Frank a hunchback. Since that wasn't the costume I was working on, I covered the mask in plastic and carefully ground away more foam. As I worked with the mask more closely, I noticed the poor airbrushing of the hair. In some areas, the paint was a full 1/4 inch oversprayed. This would not do. First, I tried to match the mask's green color as close as possible. Then I carefully repainted the hairline. Still not satisfied, Jasmine was kind enough to donate some of her hair. I used a flea comb to hold the hair and clear household glue to attach it. The glue dries shiny, so I touched up those visible spots with flat acrylic clear. What about Mary Shelley's yellow eyes? Well, not hers, but the monster's. I found some weird reflective yellow plastic and glued it to the mask's eye cutouts. My next mission was to find Frank's hands. A search of the inner tube left me with nothing. The only hands barely close were those from a space creature that looks like Bigfoot. I used acrylic paint to make them gray and then dry brushed the green over top. The black nails have zombie teeth coloring added around the edges. To make the fingers more rigid, I used water heater insulating tubes stuffed inside. Reviewing the movie again, I noticed the scars on Frank's forearms. Rolled up pieces of paper towels glued to the wrist create the scar edges. I then painted the paper towel pieces with latex. Once again, the gray, then dry brush green was used. Finally, painting the center with some dried blood color. On the other wrist, there wasn't a scar at all. It was more of a metal splint. I started with a piece of sheet aluminum, cutting it into shape. I hammered texture onto it and then used latex to stick it to the wrist, finally adding screw detail and brown twine. With the hands and face pretty much done, it was time to look for proper clothing. Instead of asphalter's boots, a pair of snow boots are used. At the thrift store, I picked up long black pants, a size 54 jacket, and a giant black t-shirt, all for $16.57. To attach the shoulders, I use a sport camera chest mount. The upper elastic straps fit over the coreboard shoulder tops, holding them firmly onto my shoulders, while the lower elastic is strapped to the belt loops of the pants with Velcro ties. This causes a large and painful wedgie. I cut the t-shirt and glued Velcro on both the mask and the shirt. In order to see out of the t-shirt, I punched tiny holes in the material with a bunch of small nails. 2 sets of shoulder pads give some bulk to Frank. To bulk up the biceps, I rolled packing material over heater foam and stuffed that into the jacket sleeves. Aluminum bath towel rods are bent to accept the forearms. Forearms are hot glued onto the aluminum rod. The hands are connected to the coreboard forearms using a wooden dowel. This allows the hands to be rotated, but not wave goodbye. I hope if you see me you will say, "Frankenstein, good, good, friend." The end.